Yeah, I mean, it showed itself over and over tonight. You know, I thought they were great all night. I thought we ended the first half on a real flurry. But anytime we got any semblance of lead or cushion, they crushed it right away. I mean, to go from down 6 to up 4 the way they did in the last 4 minutes, it's hard to do when this place is rocking like that, and they have a heck of a team and really poised and hard to beat.
Brad, here on your left, Sarah Todd, the Philadelphia Inquirer, Philly.com. Redick and Ilyasova missed a lot of shots, a lot of wide open looks late in the game. You coming away thinking, like, we're lucky that they just didn't knock those down in those moments?
Well, I think Ilyasova hit the one in the fourth. Redick's last shot was incredible that he made. He missed at least one open one that I remember vividly, where we just lost him at the start of the second half and won in the fourth. You know, our goal on Redick is you're not going to play perfect, but you just got to be there as much as humanly possible and hope there's a cumulative effect, but it's not usually the case. You know, I thought we missed some shots too. That happens, but you know, they're special because they just keep coming. You know, the Covington threes were huge. The Ilyasova's the one that he made. The Saric three in transition, like Embiid, was a joke. How good he was tonight. Guarding him in the post was really tough. So I got a lot of guys that can do a lot of stuff.
Coach Owen Pence, Boston Globe. Can you just explain the decision to double Joel in the post there and what went into that?
He had to look like he was going to get where he wanted to go, and we had two bigs with 4 fouls. So I felt like we were. I felt like if we were going to play Al the whole fourth quarter, that with 4 fouls, then he was going to have to be. We're going to have to double the post, because if you just let him bang, 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 it puts you in a precarious position where you're either going to foul or give up a layup.
Brad Rob, Boston Sports Journal. Brad, Marcus Smart just seemed like in the last few minutes of that game, he was everywhere on both ends of the floor. Can you just touch on just the impact he had?
Yeah, and again at the start, like when things weren't going as smooth, I thought he settled us down with his post-ups and with his play around the rim, and he made some great passes. You know, he's made for this. Like, he's made for these moments, and that's the thing that we just keep talking about. Like, you know, we can go through his stat line all you want, but you know, when your seasons are on the line and when you're in the playoffs and when you've got to do really hard things, he can do really hard things.
Brad, Paul Flannery. Brett was in here saying that, you know, they know that in the future, if they're going to do anything, they're going to have to go through you guys. And given the way both these teams are set up, does this feel like the start of, you know, the next 4 or 5 years of? I know you just got through this series, but does this feel like the start of something big between these two teams?
You know, I think that we've, you know, as Philly has grown over the last couple of years, you know, because we play them in the preseason often, and because we play them 4 times every year because they're in our division, I think we've had our eye on Philly a long time before that. You know, and I thought Brett and his system have put us in a bind on both ends of the floors. You know, 5 years ago when I first entered the league, and so spent a lot of time trying to figure out how we could play a little bit better. You know, you think about how much we turned it over in the regular season against them, how much issues we've had guarding some of their actions. You know, he's a heck of a coach. They have a heck of a situation, and they have a lot of young talent. They're going to be good for a long time, and I don't take these opportunities for granted, and I know they're not given. So, you know, I hope that we're all back here talking about it a year from now.
Coach Taylor Snow, Celtics.com. What went into the decision to put Jalen back in the starting lineup, and how do you feel that impacted the team?
With Shane out, we didn't have a backup point. If Smart or Terry would have gotten fouls early, we would have been forced to play them extended minutes without a break. And you know, I felt Smart was playing so well in the first half. I felt like we were trying to get through the first 5 minutes of the second to put him back in. But he was, you know, the nice part about Smart, Jalen, like Jalen comes back from his deal. He started all year. he's like, I think bringing off bench is a great idea. I tell Smart this, that we're going to start Jalen. He's good. We've kind of got a team like that. I think that starts with when you can do that with Baines all year. When older guys accept that really helps.
Brad, Jacob Toby, CLNS Media.
Hi, Jake.
Can you put into perspective, since you've got to the Celtics, what the whole experience has been like? You're now going to your second straight Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, what has the ride been like, and what kind of did you and Danny envision this team being, 3-4 years down the road?
I could never have. When you get here, you're flattered by the thought of the Boston Celtics, and all you're thinking about is the tradition and history. You realize that if you're going to break records here, you're probably going to break bad ones because none of the good ones are reachable. And so, ultimately, you're going to get a chance to play in a great city in front of great fans, and the responsibility that comes with that, our guys feel. And I think that makes you, no matter what people have predicted you will be, play at a togetherness and a toughness level that is okay in this town. And I think that's really important. Our guys really embrace that. The thing that I would say is that I always hoped we would get to the point where if things don't go our way, we're still extremely competitive because we have a kind of a foundation in place. And again, that's not a given, but things haven't always gone our way, but these guys are really talented. They're really tough. They fit Boston, and hopefully we'll keep playing well.
Jared Weiss, The Athletic. I know Joel Embiid had some big moments throughout the series, but in general, you were able to single cover him and stay home on the three-point line. And Philly never had a game where they really beat up from deep. Do you feel like at the end of the day that game plan really worked?
Guarding the three was our thing from the get-go. That's why it's scary to double. We gave up the 1-3 doubling in the fourth quarter, but Embiid forces you to do that sometimes. But we felt like their offense was such a juggernaut coming into this series, and they got so much out of their pace movement and then overreacting the guys, and we just tried to stay at home the best we could. They progressively got better on offense. Our defense progressively got worse as the series went on, and that's probably what forced some double teams tonight.
Coach Mark D'Amico, Celtics.com. After going through a 7-game series and then a tough series now, being shorthanded, Shane Larkin goes down, Jaylen Brown recovering, how do you anticipate using the next 3 days to try to get these guys ready for the next series? How will it help them get prepared for the next series?
3 days is plenty of time to prepare. It's not like they've never watched Cleveland before. We played them in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. LeBron's on just a ridiculous run of play. And we know that it'll be quite a challenge. But the most important thing that our team can do tomorrow is go outside and get away from it for a day and take a day off and take a deep breath. We're asking a lot of the 7 guys that played a ton tonight. They're going to keep playing a ton. So, and then we'll reconvene on Friday, Saturday, and really go to work on how we want to play on Sunday.